Everyone, so if you haven't noticed yet, we will be talking about eating disorders. We will be defining what an eating disorder is, what are the causes, and what are the types of eating disorders. What is an eating disorder? An eating disorder is characterized by two key features. First is the disturbed eating habits, and second is the disturbed weight control behavior. Disturbed eating habits can include restricted food intake, strict dietary rules, preoccupation with food, binge eating, and altered mealtime behaviors. On the other hand, disturbed weight control behaviors may involve excessive exercise, vomiting, or the misuse of laxatives or diuretics. So these eating habits or behaviors are termed to be disturbed when they become harmful through extreme use. Causes may be biological. Scientists are still researching possible biochemical or biological causes of eating disorders, or can be psychological. Low self esteem, feelings of inadequacy, or lack of control in life, depression, anxiety, anger, stress, or loneliness. Could be social and interpersonal also. It is also important to realize that people with eating disorders have high chances of having or experiencing physical and medical complications. The most serious problem of eating disorders are related to impaired functioning of the heart. Disturbed eating habits and weight control behaviors may lead to death, coma, or even heart diseases. Eating disorders are more commonly found in women than in men. Approximately 90% of people with eating disorders are women. However, men are with eating disorders tend to be underdiagnosed because they are reluctant to seek such treatment. Men and women have differences and some similarities. The differences is that female tend to pursue thinness while male tend to pursue buff bodies. Anorexia nervosa. In a recent research in Australia, it showed that approximately 2% of women will suffer from anorexia nervosa at some stage of their life, and another 2% of women will suffer from partial anorexia, which is a condition like anorexia nervosa, but it does not quite seem to meet the criteria for a full diagnosis. People with anorexia nervosa will tend to restrict their food intake to the point of starvation. However, this disorder should not be viewed as vanity or diet taken too far. There are two types of anorexia. First is the restricting type, and the second is the purging and the binge eating type. In the same recent research in Australia, it showed that 3% of women will suffer from bulimia nervosa at some point in their life. People with bulimia nervosa cycle through periods of binge eating and then weight control behaviors to compensate for increased calories, which leads to obsession with food and preoccupation with thoughts about eating. Bulimia nervosa is characterized by frequent episodes of binge eating, which has two key components. First is eating an amount wherein people find it very large to consume in a short period of time. Bulimia nervosa is characterized by frequent episodes of binge eating. Binge eating involves two key components: eating eating amounts of food that most people consider very large amount in a relatively short amount of time. And secondly, the second key component is that the loss of control of overeating. Second characteristic of bulimia nervosa is that it has a compensatory behavior. Other behaviors of bulimia nervosa is frequent behavior, influence of body shape, and not extremely underweight. As you have noticed, anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa has their similarities, but they also have their key differences too. Firstly, anorexia nervosa includes extreme thinness while bulimia nervosa does not. And secondly, bulimia nervosa includes cycles of binge eating and compensatory behaviors while anorexia nervosa does not. Binge eating disorders differs from anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa because extreme weight control behaviors are not used to compensate for the increase in calories. The term atypical eating disorders is used to describe eating disorders that does not fit neatly into either anorexia nervosa or bulimia nervosa. More than half the people with eating disorders fall into this category. One of the most common disorders within the category is binge eating disorder. Symptoms of binge eating disorder includes frequently eating until comfortably full, feeling a loss of control over eating, rapid eating, feeling guilt and shame, eating alone and in secret, eating when not hungry. Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
What do you know about eating disorders?
Eating disorders, they're disorders to eat, right? I know two of them, anorexia and bulimia.
Do you know anyone who has an eating disorder?
No, don't they like keep it a secret or something?
Yeah. But if you know someone, what is the best advice you could give them?
Food is good. You should eat, but like not too much of it because anything that's too much for us is bad. It's poison. Keep safe. Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
So that's it for this video, and see you next time.